Good morning, my Rise and Shine crew. I know it's probably already set to go live, but on my end, it's still taking a moment. So I'm just going to give it its moment and take a sip of tea. Good morning. Good morning. I know that there are a few of you already here. So since it's the new version of Facebook Live Producer, please go ahead and type in the comments who is here so I can say hello. Now, you may notice from the quality of my voice as well as my appearance, I am not in full effect as normal. And that is because I'm in mourning at the moment. And I'm in mourning on a mass scale. And so I'm going to shake things up this morning a little bit differently from how we've been going. Hi, Kristen. Thank you so much for being here, love. I'd like to shake things up a little bit from how we've been doing our programming. And it is Freedom Friday. So to go along with, hey, Cheryl, to go along with the themes that we've been putting out with Freedom Friday, I would love it if you guys would be willing to share the things that you are looking to forgive and leave in the past. Hi, David. Thank you so much for being here. So with Freedom Friday, so we will get into some semblance of normalcy here in a little bit, but there's some things that I feel are very important that I'm so grateful to have this platform and to be able to be of service and hold space for all of you and to make the impact that I have been making. And so many of you have been reaching out through this platform and personally with questions and comments about my content and everything. And this has just been an incredible experience. And I really would like to do my due diligence in serving you and serving as best as I can possibly do, as guided as I can be. So in that manner, in order to do so, I am going to, here we go. I'm just going to put this on mute and see if this works. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and get started. But in order to be of best service for you guys, feel free to go ahead and start typing in the comments anything that you are just ready to be over with, that you are looking to forgive, whether it's be forgiven by or like something that you've done that you wish that you could be forgiven for, or something that you've been working to try to forgive. And I'm going to do my best to assist you with that as we go on. But before we get into that, a couple of things I really feel the need to share with you. And the first is, as I mentioned, you might be aware that for some of you who've been following me, you might be aware that I'm wearing something that I wore yesterday. And my appearance is a little haggard, and even my voice is a little haggard. Now, when I came on yesterday, I did an exercise with you guys during Rise and Shine that was very energetically draining for me, helping you to uncover your hidden limiting beliefs. Now, I am very energetically sensitive, and I felt very connected with you all. And it was a beautiful, amazing thing, helping you release and discover these blocks. It's very powerful. And I felt that I needed to just kind of take some time and retreat myself to replenish and recover. And that's perfectly okay if that's something you feel that you have to do. I felt something still wasn't fully replenished by the time I got to the midday mindset. And I even apologized for that. And you could probably tell during that video that I was a little scattered. I knew something just energetically was still off. Well, then I went to go make lunch. And as I was making lunch, I flipped on Facebook and was just scrolling through, and I found the news that somebody that I used to be friends with had passed away. And he had passed away at the age of 52 from the coronavirus, otherwise healthy man. His name was Adam Schleichinger, and he was the bassist, backup singer, and songwriter for Fountains of Wayne. He was nominated for pretty much all of the awards possible, Oscars, Grammys, you name it, and he actually even received a few of those. He was a legend in the music industry, and in my meditation this morning, I asked to be guided to use this platform wisely and not selfishly, and to do him justice and do my due diligence. And if you've been following on my personal page, I had a whole video with my grief on that, and another video to back that up, to emphasize the point that I was making. And so, to do him justice, I mean, the entire music industry and the world at large is devastated, yes, by the coronavirus, yes, by the news of somebody. And I was hoping that my friend Josh Stoddard would be here, the one that I've been using his music with when we do our meditations and whatnot, Joshua Stoddard. He was the tour manager of Fountains of Wayne when I met him, and he is the reason I became connected with the band, and Jody and Adam, and we had some really good memories. And Adam and I ended up staying in touch, and we had a nice connection for a brief amount of time. And he was pivotal in helping me make life-changing decisions. And it breaks my heart. And he is the kind of person who was always there to lend a helping hand. He was always there to give guidance. And when he spoke to you, he gave you his all. He gave you his full attention, looked you in the eyes, and he genuinely, genuinely cared. And Josh and I were talking on the phone last night about how poetic, of all the people, and yes, and this is not to make light of anyone who has passed, and please type in the comments if you know somebody who has passed, and I would love to take this opportunity to honor them. If you know that somebody has passed from the coronavirus, from COVID-19. He is the first person that I know personally who has passed from it. I know personally people who have been probably affected. They haven't been tested, so they don't know. But he's the first person that I know personally who has gotten tested positive, and passed away from it. And so when Josh and I were talking last night, we said, how poetic. Of course, his bright spirit would be the one to say, you know what, guys, I'll take one for the team. If for someone who was so kind, who made such a positive impact, whose sole purpose was to bring joy, love, and understanding into the world. It's always the good ones, right? For someone like that to go, I mean, it's a tragedy when anybody goes, absolutely. But for the masses at large to be hit with that, it's, if not a wake-up call, now when? And I actually watched, as I was trying to digest all of this and just be, I actually watched this movie yesterday, and keep in mind, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. And I came across, I just felt called to watch something to do with religion. And I watched the movie, The Case for Christ. And one of the lines that really struck me was where one of the scientists was telling Lee Strobel, at some point, you've got to just make a decision, and it's faith either way. And when is enough proof enough? And so I guess my question to you on this platform is, when is enough for you to get the message that this is serious, that there are things under your control that you can do to fight this, to prevent this? Let's just assume we're all carriers. Let's just assume it. Stay home. And I know that this is an unpopular opinion, and I'm going to do my best to make this short and sweet and not belabor it, because I have a whole other video on my personal page about it, and I want to be respectful of this platform. We are so fortunate here in the US to have as much autonomy as we have, as much freedom as we have. And businesses, even though we have been told, if you're non-essential, close, businesses have been granted the opportunity to make that decision for themselves. And initially, I took the stance of, support local, buy local. Totally. And in some cases, I still stand by that. Farmers, local produce, absolutely. I can no longer stand by that when it comes to local businesses, when it comes to restaurants, coffee shops. Now, I don't know the full specifics, and perhaps this could be slightly emotional, irrational feelings taking over my skewed viewpoint on this, but having lost a friend to something that was by and large preventable, and seeing so many people go out and do so many things that they don't need to do, myself included. I went to go get my car fixed about a week and a half ago. I didn't need to do that, but I was like, ooh, they're open. Let me take advantage of this. Did it need to get fixed? No. People are going to grocery stores and taking the time to socialize while they're at grocery stores. I get it. You miss connection. But there's a reason why you don't have that connection right now. It's to save your life. And maybe not yours, but maybe Adam's life. Maybe your grandparents' life. Maybe your parents' life. Maybe your kid's life. Or maybe the life of one of them for one of your friends. And I extend this, and this is an unpopular opinion, and I am here on a platform and I realize it, but I'm going to say it because I feel that it's my responsibility as somebody with an elevated status to do my due diligence. And if you're still with me, I've got some fun things to share with you to back this up, to confirm my faiths. And if you remember seeing this from yesterday, there's more where that came from. And it's crazy waking up this morning and connecting all the dots. But I'm even going to take this a step further and say, don't support mom and pop restaurants or restaurants in general. Think about it. You're capable, even if you're the worst cook ever, you're capable of going to the grocery store and getting food for yourself. You're capable of going and getting crappy, awful, make it home coffee if you still have to go to work. When people are going to work in environments where they are not able to safely, where literally physically space is not available for them to distance themselves fully and totally isolate themselves, to stay away from, you can feel your breath from a certain distance, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't travel beyond what you can feel. It actually can travel way further from what you can feel, let alone a cough, a laugh, a sigh, an exhale, a sneeze, let alone all the things you touch. Think about this. You order a coffee from your favorite coffee shop, or you order takeout from your favorite restaurant, and they're making the things even if they wear gloves. Let's say the delivery driver isn't wearing gloves, touches the bag, hands you the bag, you touch the bag. There are so many areas for something to go wrong. The margin is too great. And we're so lucky to be able to be given the freedom to say, what should I do? And it's in making the best interest, hoping that you'll make the right decision. I gave an example yesterday about it's like the parent trusting you when you're younger to ride your bicycle around the block by yourself without the parent there. It's because the parent trusts you to know better, to not just randomly ride your bike in traffic. And far too much, we're seeing people proverbially ride their bikes in traffic, whether it is because they think, oh, they're not going to hit me. You know, maybe they aren't. Maybe you're going to go about your life and you're going to be totally fine and healthy. But that doesn't mean that you going about your life, touching things, breathing, isn't going to have the same effect as you going into the street and the person swerving, not hitting you, but then swerving, hitting a tree and crashing and dying. Everything has a consequence. Everything. And it's my hope that Adam's death doesn't go in vain and that we can all learn something from it. And my take on it is just how much more real and serious this is, and how much more personal it just got for me. And I hope to God that I don't have to hear about another situation from somebody I know. And again, if you know somebody who has been affected, who has tested positive, who has passed away from it, please type it in the comments right here. I would love to honor them. And let's take these as personal examples. And I put a cry out yesterday, and I asked, and I'm going to ask you guys to take a stand and take the unpopular opinion. Like, I literally just said, somebody who is a business owner, I literally did just say, stop supporting any business on a local business or a massive business if they're endangering other people. Like, I had a conversation with somebody earlier who was saying how she can't afford to not work. She makes $10 an hour. She can't even really afford life on that, but she's stuck working at this coffee shop because they're open. And if she doesn't go in, she loses her job, which, hi, welcome to most of the rest of us at this point. But if she loses her job, it's not only that she's in the same pool with the rest of us of not having work, but that when work can resume for most of us, she might still be without it because she walked out on her job. And she's putting herself at risk just being there in close encounters where she can't separate herself just so that somebody can get their coffee. And it's that demand, right? If you stop patronizing these businesses to go get that coffee, like, absolutely, when all is said and done, go back, support them in full effect, 100%. But right now, I'm going to take the unpopular opinion and say that it's selfish for non-essential businesses, restaurants, coffee shops, guys, they're not essential. The guy at the car wash that's scrubbing at the gas station, I get it. Gas stations can stay open because people who still need to get to work still need gas in their cars. I get that. But the car wash part, send the guy home. I know he needs the money. We all need the money. Like, staying open just for the simple reason, saying that, well, they need the money, that's not a valid reason, because newsflash, we all need the money. Am I wrong? I think it's selfish on the business stance, because you are endangering the lives of the people who are working for you. And in most of these cases, the people who are working these jobs are not getting paid $25 an hour. They're not getting paid money to justify the risks, let alone not only the risks that they're putting onto themselves, but the risks that they're putting onto other people. I shared a couple examples and then I'll move on from this. I shared a couple examples on my personal page of some brave friends of mine. And this is where I'm going to have a call to action for you guys going forward. A friend of mine who is a construction worker in New York City, he walked out on his job the other day because one of his coworkers, tested positive. And so they said, nope, you got to go quarantine. Sorry, best of luck, as they should have. But what they didn't do is they didn't make the same decision for all the people that he carpooled to work with. And so my friend said, I don't think you're taking this as seriously as you should. I feel that I'm endangered. It's New York City, like shit's expensive. He's like, I live, I think downstairs in a duplex or whatever, with his elderly parents. And he's not going to risk, like he's the only way that they can go and get groceries and everything like that. Like he supports the household. And he's like, there's no way I'm putting my health, let alone my parents' health, at risk. So he walked out on his job, risking now granted, he probably makes a little bit more money than the person getting $10 an hour at the coffee shop. But once again, he's somebody that took a stand and risked, when this is all over, maybe not having a job because, okay, I can already hear the natter, like he's probably union, he's fine, da, da, da. But point is, he took a stand for the unpopular opinion, putting his health and his family's health and safety first. And also being conscious to not want to be at risk to expose other people to it. I had another friend who posted on social media that her landlord did pretty much like the routine, like, hey, beginning of the month, we're going to send somebody in to do like a quick 5-minute inspection. Let's go ahead and schedule this. And she was like, hey, in case you haven't heard, there's this whole quarantine thing going around, and I've actually been taking it seriously and following it. And I don't feel comfortable at this time. I'm more than happy to work with you on, I'll take photos, I'll take videos. If we can reschedule this, I would feel much more comfortable with that. I haven't touched base with her to find out if her landlord responded, and if so, what they said. But again, bravo to her for taking a stand for the unpopular decision. This is where, and this goes back to everything that I've been saying for the past couple of weeks of taking a stand for your power, standing in your truth and saying, this is what I will allow. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. So many times in our life, we take a step back and we just go with the flow. We are yes people. We just say yes to what is asked of us without thinking about our own personal well-being, and without thinking about our own desires, without thinking about what is actually right and safe and good. And this situation has put a lot of things into perspective for people. And I really, really commend those of you who have taken the stand and said, I'm going to change my life. It sucks and it's not fun, but I'm going to change my life, not just for me. But keep in mind, those of you who have quarantined and like honestly quarantined, not quarantined, but I'm out socializing 3 feet away from my neighbor on a hike, or I'm out at the grocery store talking. And it's so funny because unless things are specifically marked like they are, like at my post office, people just automatically, they get out in public and they totally forget that social distancing should be appropriate, and they cluster because they're like, oh, a human, oh, yay, let's get really close and let's talk. And it's like I have, where my apartment is, there's a playground, there is a barbecue pit, and then there's a pool, like right in front of my personal apartment. And a couple times a day, there is a family that takes their kid to go run around on the playground, and I just want to scream at them, like, did you personally sanitize that? There's almost every day somebody out barbecuing and drinking, and there's been a couple times where they've had parties. Of course, my butt's been inside, staying away from that, closing the doors because I don't want any of that coming in here. And it's not being paranoid, it's just being polite. And it's for those of you who are actually taking this seriously, thank you. You are helping to save the world. And I don't say that lightly, you are. And to those of you who are doing the inner work and asking every day, how can I be of service? What can I do differently? How can I change my lifestyle, as inconvenient as it is to me? What can I do to better be of service? Again, thank you. You are changing the world. You are saving the world. And I hope and pray that this continues on. So I thought it would be fun to kind of shake up. I mean, again, it's Freedom Friday, so please type in the comments anything that you would like to, that you're working through to forgive and let go, that you would like to be done with. I'm here. I'm available to hold space for you to let that go. But I thought it would also be fun to bring up medicine cards and play around with that and kind of shake things up and revitalize the energy, because I know I need it, because my eyes are still red. My voice isn't still fully back. And before I get into that, going along with this, if you guys were here for my candle burning story yesterday, I really want to save time for you guys to do medicine cards. So I'm going to press pause on that for a moment. But I would like to share something with you to segue with that. So I read my medicine cards every single day. And for those of you who are not familiar with what medicine cards are, they're kind of like my version of a horoscope. Every card is an animal and it's a Native American based thing. So it's typically just North American animals. And each animal represents something. Like hummingbird represents joy, deer represents gentleness, stuff like that. And it's fun to just pull a card and look at it and say, see what it represents and see how that can be a reminder to something maybe you should pay more attention to. Now, yesterday, even before I did the limiting beliefs exercise with you guys, before I found out the news about my friend, I had this sense that something was off. And I actually pulled the rabbit card. In the medicine card world, rabbit is the fear caller. Rabbit stands for fear. And the story goes that, to give you the short version, long time ago, Rabbit was walking with his friend, the witch. And Rabbit said, I'm thirsty. And witch took a leaf, blew on it, and it turned into a gourd filled with water. Rabbit didn't say anything, but he drank. Then they're walking along. Rabbit says, I'm hungry. And the rabbit picks up a rock, blows on it, turns it into a turnip. Rabbit doesn't say anything, eats it. They're walking along and they go up a hill and Rabbit falls, tumbles all the way down to the bottom, and he's injured. So witch comes and puts some salve on him, heals him. Rabbit disappears. Sometime later, they happen to meet and witch says, I've missed you, my friend. Where did you go? And Rabbit says, stay away from me. I'm afraid of you. Your magical powers basically freak me out. You're weird. And witch says, because of the medicine that we've shared and we were friends, I have the power to destroy you, but I'm not going to. But you brought this on yourself. So I'm going to curse you with fear. From now on, whatever it is that you fear, you will bring to you. And this is the concept of what you resist persists, right? The things that you are afraid of, if you're afraid of them, you're holding them in your consciousness. And your consciousness is drawing it to you. You're on the lookout for something that you're afraid of, right? And so it's a reminder. That particular card is just a reminder to basically forgive your fears, find a way to put them to rest, because the more you focus on them, so it's kind of a call to be conscious of what you're being afraid of, because the more you focus on it, the more you're going to draw it to you and it will appear. So the story is Rabbit says, stay away, eagle. I don't want you to eat me. And it's so afraid, the eagle doesn't hear him. It's so afraid. It's like, I said, eagle, stay away. I'm afraid of you. And now the eagle's like, oh, I heard you. There you are. Thanks. Like, that's the whole concept behind it. And I saw that and I was like, Okay. Extra doses of positivity. Got it. And then I found out that news about my friend and I was like, yeah, powerful. Yeah. So that's kind of a reminder to me, to all of us, that yes, I'm bringing up the fact that a friend of mine has passed away from the coronavirus. That is to bring awareness to the severity of this and to ask you to take action, which, by the way, what I was going to ask of all of you watching is to please take a stand and make a post, make it social, make it viral, to say, hey, it's unpopular, but here's the way I'm taking action. Like, here's how I'm standing up for myself. Here's how I'm saving the world. And it's kind of hard to be mad at that when you say that you're saving the world. Like, I declined going on a hike with a friend of mine, which I had every intention of staying at least 6 feet behind her for my own safety's sake. But after finding out about Adam, I was like, you know what? I am doubling down on my efforts to protect myself and to protect others. And I'm just, unless I'm walking my dog or going to the grocery store or to a doctor's, like, let's stay inside. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not even going to risk it. And so I would love for you guys to post and share on here how you're saving the world. I saved the world yesterday because I didn't go on a hike. That kind of thing. So anyway, going back. So another one of my morning rituals before I read my medicine cards is I work in my desire map planner, which is just kind of a way to get centered and to kind of plan out my day. It's got a section for your core desired feelings, nourishing thoughts and intentional actions, your schedule, to do. And it's got all these believing things. Yes, stay home, exactly, Dan. And it's littered with things like, schedule, let it be easy. To do, believe in yourself. Body and wellness, what would feel nourishing. Devotion, your desires are a prayer. Grateful, because, be a beacon of optimism. And it's got a nice little encouraging prose at the bottom. Well, what's really neat is at the bottom of each page, there's a little tear off tab with just kind of like a feeling to go along with. And just so y'all don't think I'm crazy and you can kind of tie all this together. So again, Adam was the founder and bassist and songwriter for Fountains of Wayne. Fountains, water. Yesterday, I had a story about burning my water candle, right? And having that totally go ablaze and catch on fire. You see where I'm going with this? You guys look and tell me what that says right there. The tab on the date. Now, granted, he actually passed away on April 1st, but I found out about it yesterday on April 2nd. It says oceanic. So let's tie all this together. I woke up feeling uneasy about something. I meditated burning a water candle with the message that said something to the effect of each drop of water, each drop of rain is its own, it's all unique. And yet we all come together as a whole. And that bursts into flames and sets my fire alarms off. And then I get the fear caller medicine card. And then I write in my journal and it says oceanic. Hello, subliminal subconscious signs from the universe. Something's going on with water. And I met Adam through Fountains of Wayne. Now, he's known for many other talents, not to, solely focus on one of them, but that's my connection to him was when he was touring with Fountains of Wayne, and that's how I met him. So that's all coming together. So this morning, I pull out my medicine cards. And what card did I pull this morning? Frog. And for those of you who've been following me, I've talked about frog before. Frog is actually in my personal medicine wheelhouse. Frog is cleansing. And I wish that you guys were here with me this morning in my bedroom when I pulled it so you could see that none of this was pre-planned. None of this was, put together as like a great captivating story. This is all genuinely real. This is my way, my personal form of prayer, my personal way of connecting with the universe and receiving guidance. And I believe in it so much. Now you can, with all of my videos, take it as you will, take what serves you, and go ahead and just be amused by the rest. But let me just read to you the highlights of what frog symbolizes so you can kind of get a frame of why I'm here and why I decided to shake things up with today's episode and have it play out a little different. And before I do that, just shout out to Stephen. Thank you. I love these glasses. And I love that you love the rabbit story. If you'd like me to read your medicine card, let me know, because after I'm done with this, I'm opening it up to reading other people's medicine cards. And good morning, Erica, my sister. So frog stands for cleansing. Frog sings the songs that bring the rain and make the road dirt more bearable. Frog medicine is akin to water energy and the east on the medicine wheel. Frog teaches us to honor our tears, for they cleanse the soul. All water rites belong to frog, including all initiations by water. Water prepares and cleanses the body for sacred ceremony. It is the element we understand best in the womb. Frog, like ourselves, is a polywog in the fetal waters and only learns to hop after it experiences the world of fluidity. The transformation into adulthood prepares frog for its power to call in the waters of the skies, the rain. In knowing the element of water, frog can sing the song that calls the rain to earth. When the ponds are dry, think about how this means on a macro level to all of us right now, guys. When the ponds are dry, frog calls upon the thunder beings to cleanse and replenish the earth with water. Like frog, we are asked to know when it is time to refresh, purify, and refill the coffers of the soul. For such a time as this, is it not? If frog hopped into the cards today, its ribbit may be calling in the cleansing you need. Well, I know I could use it. What about you? If you were to look at where you are today, would you use any of the following words to describe your condition? Tired, overloaded, harried, frustrated, guilty, itchy, nervous, at a loss, empty, or weakened? If so, take a break and allow yourself to bathe in the waters of frog medicine. I will tell you that I took a long bath yesterday. This could mean a long, relaxing bath, disconnecting the phone, yelling stop, or taking in deep, cleansing breaths. The key thought is to find a way to rid yourself of distractions and replace the mud with clear energy. Then replenish your parched spirit, body, and mind. An ability of frog medicine people is to give support and energy where it is needed. A frog medicine person can clean negativity from any environment. Frog speaks of new life and harmony through its rain song. The deep tones of frog's ribbit are said to be a call on the thunder beings, thunder, lightning, and rain. The ribbit is the heartbeat that comes into harmony with Father Sky and calls for the replenishment needed. Call to frog and find the peace in the joy of taking time to give to yourself. A part of this giving is cleansing yourself of any person, place, or thing that does not contribute to your new state of serenity and replenishment. The coincidences, can't make that up. That sequence of events for me, I cannot wait to see what the universe has in store for me for the rest of today and moving forward. So I'm going to open this up to reading medicine cards for any of you. And I fully believe that even just reading this, for those of you who are tuned in right now and listening, I believe that even though this card I pulled for myself this morning, there are no accidents. Everything happens for you, not to you. And you heard that message because there was something in that message for you to hear just now. And whatever card I pull for whoever else asks for a card to be read for them today, whoever is listening, there's probably a message in there for you as well. So go ahead and type in the comments if you would like me to pull a card for you. I'll go ahead and shuffle them. And before I do that, I would like to start with kind of a meditative prayer, if I will. Now, again, keep in mind, I am not religious. I am more spiritual than religious, but I am respectful to all denominations. And this is just more of a universal prayer. So I don't use prayer in the dogmatic sense. And I'm going to go ahead and tune to my friend Joshua Stoddard's sound. So if you like his music, if you like the tones that I'm about to play, please go ahead, go to this website, jot it down, and check his stuff out. And just to give the little anecdote, so Fountains of Wayne was playing at the waterfront in Buffalo, 2009, something like that. And they had just finished, and I was there with my best friend at the time, and I didn't know any of them at the moment. And Josh was the tour manager, and he was breaking down the stage, and he was totally, not to put you on blast, Josh, but he was totally blatantly just hitting on me and my friend, and it was fun. And that's what we did back then. Like, we flirted with anyone in the music industry and band guys, and hung out with them. And we went back backstage and had some drinks with the band, and that that's how I met Adam and Jody and everybody, and we all just hung out, and we ended up becoming really good friends. And Josh and I are still friends to this day. Adam and I remained friends for quite a while after, and I was still in college and going to school for music business management, and he gave me a lot of guidance, and he really did, through his friendship, through his kindness, through being there for me, he really helped change my life. So it's a beautiful blessing, and it's so amazing that through these videos, I've been actually using my dear friend Josh, his music, his contribution that he had offered up royalty free for me to use in these videos to be of service for you guys. So it's a beautiful culmination, full circle. So Josh, if you're watching live, or when you do watch the recording, I find that so beautiful. So thank you. Kristen, please pull one for me, my friend. Frog fit, but my psychic sense is pulling me. Absolutely. Absolutely, Kristen. You got it. Let's do this little prayer real quick. Turn on some of Josh's music. Bear with me. I couldn't get it on my phone for whatever reason, so I'm having to go to my laptop. So switching between tabs is not what my laptop likes to do. Okay. So you can close your eyes if you like. And whoever it is that you are connected to, dear God, dear universe, source, spirit, I ask that you look over not just us, but all of us. Help us stay healthy. Help us stay wise. Fill us with your wisdom of how we can best be of service, of the highest service. How we can use our humaneness to not only breed compassion, but to use insight to look beyond just the basics, to break things down even further, to keep asking and keep getting the answers of what more can I do? Or what more can I stop doing? We ask that you hold us in our loving embrace, especially for those of us who are not able to physically be embraced or embrace others at this time. We ask that you bless everyone who's working tirelessly to keep us healthy, to keep us safe, to save the lives of those who are already affected. And to all of those who are affected but have not yet been able to be even tested, and who are told to just write it out, please give them just a little bit extra if you can to help us. Send your light, your love, your energy. We can all use it. And help us direct it into positive solutions, positive actions. Please help direct our energy, whether we realize it or not, direct it to those who most need it. So many are in need, and many of them would never tell you. Please guide us to make the right decisions, to understand and forgive, to forgive ourselves. In forgiveness, we know that there is healing. And so many of our ailments can be healed, starting within. Please guide us to discover that and help do our part to heal ourselves so that the healers out there can continue to heal the others who need it. Please guide us to keep our thoughts, our words, and our actions aligned, and continue our self-discovery so that we can be the strongest and best versions of ourselves, so that we can then in turn be the strongest and best versions of humanity to serve and love each other. Thank you. All right. I'm getting more and more used to saying prayers. So, what's that? If I close my eyes during prayer, I fall asleep. That's okay. You don't have to. All right, Kristen. You have such a fun energy. I've always enjoyed getting to work with you. Such a sassy, charismatic, loving person. Like, just considering you as I shuffle these cards, I can just feel it. And I just get this like bubbly laughter. I love it. You, my dear, have chosen Otter. Let me pause Josh right now. And I have to admit, I'm not 100%. I know otter has to do with the feminine, and it's another water creature as well, but let me get further guidance on this. I want to say it's playful too, if I'm not mistaken. Woman medicine. Otter so playful, coquettes by the stream, the medicine of woman, the realized dream. The medicine held by otter is a set of lessons in the female energy. Now, guys, still listen, because we are all a combination of the divine masculine and feminine. That is our inner king and queen. So there's a lesson in here for everyone. This applies to both men and women. If I just keep reading, I'll get the answers, as all of us have female sides. The otter's hide is very often used to make medicine bags for powerful women because it represents balanced female energy. Otter is very caring of its young and will play for hours, performing all types of acrobatics. It lives on land, but always has its home near water. The elements of earth and water are the female elements. At home in both of these elements, otter is the personification of femininity. Long, sleek, and graceful, otter is the true coquette of the animal world. Otter is always on the move and is very curious. Unlike other animals, otter will not start a fight unless it is attacked first. This joyful little creature is adventuresome and assumes that all other creatures are friendly, until proven otherwise. These character traits are the beauty of a balanced female side, the side of ourselves that creates a space for others to enter our lives without preconceptions or suspicions. Otter teaches sisterhood, content to enjoy and share the good fortune of others. Anchored in the understanding that all accomplishments are worthwhile for the whole tribe, otter people express joy for others. Long ago in tribal law, if a woman were widowed, her sister would offer her own husband to the widow as a lover to keep her from drying up and not using her creative urges. This is otter medicine too. Envy, or the fear of being replaced, has no space in otter's balanced understanding of sharing goodness. Women energy without games or control is a beautiful experience. It is the freeness of love without jealousy. It is the joy of loving other people's children and their accomplishments as much as you love your own. It may be time to examine your feelings about sharing the bounty of your life with others. Otter may be saying that the finer qualities of women need to be striven for in both men and women so that a unity of spirit can be achieved. This would involve the destruction of jealousy and all the acts of anger which stem from that fear. It would mean keeping a hawkeye on your ego and maintaining total trust. It would mean a world full of people coming together to honor the right of each person to be. If you have drawn this symbol, otter may be telling you to become the playful child and to simply allow things to unfold in your life. It may be time to stop your addiction to worrying. Otter also teaches the importance of not hanging on to material things that would bind you to or become a burden. In looking at how you can learn from otter's habits, you might look at the joyousness of the receptive side of your nature. Have you given yourself a gift recently? Have you received any messages in your meditations? Become otter and move gently into the river of life. Flow with the waters of the universe. This is the way of balanced female receptive energy. Honor it. In doing so, you will discover the power of woman. That's beautiful. Thank you, Kristen. For all of you listening, I hope you're getting what I'm getting out of this. And Kristen, please share what you're getting. It's a reminder that we all have to come together and we have to put aside our jealousy and to put aside our own selfish needs for the betterment of everybody. That everyone has value and everyone can contribute, and that we all have something of value to give and share. Keeping a hawk eye on your ego and maintaining total trust, total trust, Total trust. I talked the other day about becoming the playful child, did I not? About finding out who your inner child was and what they're about and tapping into that, because that helps you find out who you really are. And so much of that is needed right now. I mean, that's why the Quarantine Network exists, is to bring people together with, yes, joy and laughter and humor, but also, resources and a collective energy. And I love the content that's being put out there, not just with the programs that are out there, but just the random posts, or maybe they're not random, but that the Quarantine Network is putting out there, like giving a thread specifically so that people can vent their concerns and just get it out there. Because even in the world that I'm in, where the personal development world, there's almost a sense of like, oh God, I've got to be happy, happy, happy all the time. And I can't share grief. I can't share frustrations. So where can I even have an outlet? And they provide a specific outlet for that. They provide an outlet for like, let's share the good things. Like, this is such a blessing. And to see how it all unfolds and to be here and share in this space with you guys, it's just, I love it. Otter is such a great card for all of us. And again, this card was specifically drawn for Kristen, but I truly believe that all of us that are here present, able to witness that there's a message in it for all of us. And I would love to hear, those of you still watching, I would love to hear the message that you're getting out of this and how it pertains to you as well. In looking at how you can learn from Otter's, where was it? It may be time to stop your addiction to worrying. Otter teaches the importance of not hanging on to material things that would bind you or become a burden. Yeah. And I just talked earlier about looking at the things, taking an extra close look and doubling down on the things that you don't really need right now. Okay. I better be respectful for my time. So let's see. Thank you, Cassie. That was well said. Thank you, David. May blessings come your way for you to be a blessing to others. Thank you. And same to you and all of you. I miss working with you. Your energy always grounded me. I knew it was going to be an otter. I said it when we were... Seriously? That's amazing. That was beautiful and very much needed. There's been a lot going on since July. I've been a constant state of worry and not trusting. I have to let go. I've been aware of that, Kristen. Even though you never know who's watching, even though we might not reach out, and this is, I guess, a call to action to me as well, is, reach out. Don't just pass by things and acknowledge them and energetically send love, which always energetically send love, but, actually reach out. I have been noticing a lot of the changes you've been going through, emotionally, health-wise, all of that. And I have been aware of that, and I have been sending you love, and thank you for expressing that. And yeah. Gosh, I love these sessions. I love this community. I love being able to hold space for you guys, and I'm so grateful. And please hold what I've said today in your hearts. And again, please take some time to reflect and give some thought to ways that you can double down on saving the world, changes that you can make to contribute. And we will get through this together. As always, any questions, any comments, anything that you're not clear on, please reach out to me, DM me. You can go to wildblossombeacon.com. And I'm more than happy to offer up a free half hour. We can jump on a phone call, do a half hour of chatting, and, kind of help you sort out whatever it is that you've got going on. I am available for you. Maybe not today. I'm still taking some time to recover, but definitely reach out anyway, and I will get back to you when I'm able, when I have filled up my cup to overflow, so that I can then be of service to you. So until next time, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Take care. I will see you later this afternoon, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Or I'm sorry, 11:05 Pacific Standard Time, 2:05 Eastern Standard Time for your midday mindset shift. So cough in your elbow, wash your hands, and stay the home. Love you guys. Bye.